Every coach wants quality reserves, and Lafayette has them. Young men playing in the shadow of established veterans waiting for their moment in the sun. When it arrived for split end Carm DeSantis, he was ready, as his 2 touchdowns sparked a 37-6 pasting of Bucknell. Much of Lafayette's success is due to an offensive line. Short-sleeved jerseys leave nothing to the imagination. Clifford, Llewellyn, Yogan, Tobias, and all these tackle Eddie Stahl, college football's most dependable escort service. Follow a Lafayette back to the point of attack, and you'll find a Lafayette lineman chopping down defensive timber. Follow a Lafayette quarterback, and you'll find his bodyguards. Averaging 6'3" and 250 pounds, the Bruise brothers took no prisoners. Never was the character of Lafayette's team more sorely tested than in their game against Princeton. Like 2 hard-hitting heavyweights, the Leopards and Tigers traded knockout punches. The final round would come down to pride. It was a game that left the fans limp. Lafayette had nearly 600 yards of offense, including a school record 269 yards rushing by Nick Kuyos. When the smoke cleared, it was Lafayette by a knockout. All-American middle guard Tony Green led a Lafayette defense that was rough, tough, and intimidating. From north, south, east, and west, they arrive as subtle as the impact of a tank. The names are familiar: Keenley, Calhoun, Doberspike, King, Wagner, Sample, and Anderson all fit the mold. Running the ball is like traveling through shark-infested waters. Co-captain Bob Marr led the defensive secondary. Marr finished his brilliant career with a school record 17 interceptions. Shar, Byrne, Hanley, and Lucy round out the core of cat burglars, eager to steal one from opposing quarterbacks. These two teams have done battle more than any other pair in the history of college football. 118 times they have squared off, with Lafayette holding a 65-48 advantage, including last year's 10-3 win in Bethlehem. Every game is at Donnybrook. School pride, bragging rights to the Lehigh Valley, and national football recognition are on the line. Lafayette-Lehigh, the most played rivalry in college football. '82 was no different. The Leopards were eager to banish the 4-5 Engineers to a losing season, as well as run their own winning streak to 5 in a row. On Lehigh's first possession, senior safety Bob Shar set the tone for the day. Novak wasted no time in hooking up with Gatehouse for a beautiful 43-yard reception. Three plays later, Mark Petty banged home his first of 2 field goals in the day, and Lafayette led 3-0. Lafayette's defense, here behind an awesome pass rush by Green and Gutman, served notice of things to come. Lafayette fans licked their chops as the Leopards took control of both sides of the line of scrimmage. The Cats were on the prowl. Novak exploited Lehigh's weak pass defense with a shotgun, and Gatehouse ran wild in the secondary. The game plan was to air it out, and the bomb squad was on target. As the quarter changed, the stage was set. Lafayette needed a big play from a clutch player. Touchdown, Gatehouse. And Lafayette had stretched the lead to 10 points. Meanwhile, on the bench, Lafayette's defense plotted mayhem. Gang tackling was to be the order of the day. And when Lafayette unleashed the pass rush, there was simply nowhere to hide. The smiles started to grow on the faces of Lafayette alumni as the rush became an avalanche.
Lafayette. men on the line of scrimmage. Good snap. Only one man rushing. There's the kick by O'Hagan. Going to go to Priest at his own 9 to the 10. 15, cuts it up the middle, 20. Still in his feet, 25. At the 30, 35, 40. Midfield, 40, 35. And Priest is going to go in and in for a touchdown, 92 yards.
Freshman sensation Ryan Priest had broken the game wide open and in the process set an NCAA record for punt returns, leading the nation with a phenomenal 22.6 average per return. And then the avalanche became an earthquake.
And Marty Horn is back to throw. Horn looking outside, intercepted by Hanley. At the 40, at the 35, at the 25, 20, 15, 10, touchdown Lafayette, and there are no flags down. A 74-yard return for Chris Hanley and a touchdown. Lafayette up 27-0, draw to Williams. Williams splits the 2 tackles over the 25, still on his feet. He's at the 40, up foot lane, 45, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, touchdown, Brad Williams.
Each quarter, the Engineers trotted out a new quarterback eager to impress. But each series, Lafayette's defense sent them back to the bench, beaten and beat up. Sustaining a drive against the Leopard defense was like trying to swim through a vat of molten lead. Painfully impossible. The overpowering pass rush, led by Brian Gutman's 5 sacks, drowned Lehigh quarterbacks in a sea of maroon and white. Lafayette finished the season at 7-3, and their 2-year record of 16-5 under head coach Bill Russo is the 8th best among the 93 teams in Division I AA. Senior Jack Gatehouse won the Most Valuable Player Award, a fitting climax to a brilliant career. Frank Novak was named the All East quarterback and finished as the leading passer in Division I AA. And as for Lafayette College football, the beat goes on. '83 was another exciting year of winning football for Lafayette College. With a 6-5 season, the Leopards, under head coach Bill Russo, ran their 3-year record to 22-10 and were once again one of the most explosive, high-powered offensive teams in the country. All-East and All-American quarterback Frank Novak directed the 1983 version of Air Lafayette to its highest offensive production in school history, and his strong right arm has accounted for well over 6,000 career passing yards, placing him 4th on the list of quarterbacks in 1 AA history. His favorite receiver was junior split end Frank Corbo. The Woodbridge, New Jersey native had 55 catches, ranking him 9th in the nation, good for 783 yards and 5 touchdowns. Frank is already Lafayette's leading career receiver with 1 year to go. Senior Gary Yogan anchored the offensive line from his center spot. This Pittsburgh Ironman started all 32 games in the last 3 years. Quite an accomplishment. But winning teams can also run the football, and Lafayette's ground troops pounded opponents for over 2,000 yards in '83. Ryan Priest led the team in rushing with 800 yards, as well as adding close to 700 more on kick returns. Strong defense formed a vital cornerstone for Lafayette's success in 1983. The Leopards finished 8th in the country in rushing defense, holding opponents to under 100 yards per game. The pass rush accounted for over 40 quarterback sacks, with the defensive line of Doverspike, King, and Dunbar having 20 among them. No question, the big boys can get your attention. But there was also frustration in '83 as the injury bug put the bite on a host of Leopards. A reoccurrence of the ankle injury that kept him out for 1982 limited Roger Shepko to 400 yards rushing. But when he was healthy, Shepko showed why he has averaged close to 6 yards a carry. Shepko finished his brilliant career as the second leading rusher in school history. Craig Williams missed the last 2 games of 1983, but the senior fullback, known as the most devastating blocker in school history, has left a legacy few, if any, can match. When the big train left the station, the trip was often coast to coast. Nick Kuyos was leading the Leopards in rushing after 5 games. In Game 6, Nick was sidelined with a broken arm, but 3 weeks later, he returned. Always a threat as a receiver, Kuyos is also tough close to the goal line, and he's closing in on Lafayette's career scoring record. It was Novak, the senior from Leominster, Massachusetts, that kept the ship afloat. On his way to 20 school records, the 6'3", 190-pounder audibled, scrambled, and passed the Leopards to 22 wins in 3 years. In '83, he spread the wealth as 9 receivers caught 10 or more passes. The Novak era will long be remembered by Lafayette fans. The surprise of '83 was sophomore halfback Ryan Priest. When injuries decimated the backfield, the former All-Stater from Mechanicsburg stepped in to lead the Leopards in rushing with 800 yards. His 234-yard effort against Kutztown was a career high. Lafayette employed a 5-2 monster defense with an aggressive, go-get-'em style. John Anderson and Mark Sompel keyed the Leopard defense from their linebacker spots. The duo combined for over 200 tackles on the season. The secondary was anchored by Dave Rankins from Rahway, New Jersey. After moving to free safety midway through the season, Rankins responded with a team-leading 6 interceptions. A pivotal game occurred in week 7 of the season in Harrisonburg, Virginia. The opponent, the Dukes of James Madison University. Offense, defense, and kicking game. Veterans, rookies, and coaches. The Leopards would need them all.